Hey guys, in this short devotional, we're going to talk about taking refuge in the Lord versus taking refuge in anyone else, not the Lord. Okay, before we get into that, if you love the content here, would you mind subscribing to the channel and liking this video? It really helps us bring you this quality content every single day. So we're going to jump in. Today's verse is going to be from Psalms 118, verses 7 through 9. It'll be up on the screen. I'll read it for you as well. The Lord is with me. He is my helper. I look in triumph over my enemies. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in humans. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. So first of all, it says twice in those verses that we need to take refuge in the Lord, and it's specifically better than certain other things. We'll get to those in a second. But when we think about taking refuge in something, we don't always first turn to the Lord. But this very specifically says taking refuge in the Lord. It doesn't just say we should just take refuge. It actually gives a specific reason why we should take refuge. And I think that is more key than anything else, is the reason why we should. Because I think we can all conceptually understand the idea of doing that because we love God and we trust Him. But when we really understand why and what it's saying here, it becomes, I think, infinitely more clear of why exactly we have to do this. And it says right after that, it says, first of all, we should take refuge in the Lord and we should not trust in humans. And then it says after that we should not trust in princes. When we think about the people in our lives that we could think of as princes, because obviously back in that day, that's kind of what an authority figure in someone's life could be. When we put all our wholehearted trust in someone like that, and someone who here on earth would be considered a good person of authority, when we put all our eggs in that basket, it's going to be really easy for those expectations to not be met and for that trust to be lost. But the key here is with God, that doesn't happen. Because we know and we have confidence in God, in what He says. If you've been watching our Godly Men series on YouTube or podcast form, we talk a lot about this, the idea of God, not only Him being good, Him being consistent, is the fact that He doesn't break His promises, and we go into more depth in that, and I highly recommend you watch that and check it out. But really from these couple verses, the conceptual things that we need to understand is even people we think are good, even people we think and we know here on earth, yeah, they're good people, we still need to trust God over them. And we need to put our faith and our hope in God and not in those other humans. Even how good they might be, even my own father, who I love dearly, I need to put my trust more so in the Lord than in him, because even though He is trustworthy, right? Yes, He is. God is at the utmost level of infinite, not only trustworthiness, but responsibility and consistency. And obviously we can go to Noah in the flood, where He says He's not going to flood the earth again, and it hasn't happened yet. That's an example for a promise, and we can talk about a lot more promises in the Bible that God's kept. But with those examples, we can trust in God wholeheartedly. And when we take refuge in Him over other princes, over other human beings that we find trustworthy, it says right before that, the Lord is our helper. When we are in God, and He will help us. And He says, it says in the Bible elsewhere, where it talks about the Lord staying close to us. And when we draw near the Lord is already there, close to us. And so when that happens, it says right there, I look into the triumph of my enemies. And obviously this is Psalms, and this is talking about that context and in that era. But we can take something from that God can help us out. And God's wanting to be there for us, and He's wanting to stay there with us. So remember to be in God and in community with God and godly people, and put your trust in God. And don't put your trust in the people that you even think are trustworthy. And definitely don't put them in the people that you think aren't trustworthy. Okay, thank you guys.